Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you how I decorated my 2024 Christmas tree. If you follow my channel, you know I typically refinish and restore furniture. However, keeping with the holiday spirit, we will be decorating this year's Christmas tree. To give you guys a point of reference, I use a 12-foot tall fake Christmas tree. Since I have a double height living room ceiling, this is a perfect size. And before I do anything with my decorations, I always make sure to fluff the Christmas tree leaves. What I mean by that is I spread the branches to fill in the holes that are naturally created from the tree being stored over 11 months, 12 months, whatever it is. When I spread the branches, I try to move some to the side, some to the top, and some to the bottom to try to create that natural look. Obviously, if you're buying a natural tree, a fresh tree, there's no need to complete this step. A quick tip: once you think you're done fluffing the tree, step back, take a look of the whole tree as a self, as a unit, and assess if there's any areas that need to be modified before you even move forward. One thing I like to do before I start decorating my tree is determine a theme. I'm the type of person that changes the theme every year. Because of this, I have so many different types of ornaments. It can be quite overwhelming. So, determining the theme and only taking out the ornaments that make sense for that theme make the process way easier. And by the way, just because I have an item that could work for the theme doesn't mean I actually use it all. It just helps me visualize the ornaments and balance the colors out to make sure that it's nice and cohesive. With the theme picked out, the ornaments are set out, it is now time to add lights onto the tree. If you guys follow my channel and you saw last year's video, and even my 5 tips and tricks on how to put up a Christmas tree, you know that the next step is putting on Christmas lights. I really believe in working smarter and not harder. So I use net lights. It is so quick to place these on your tree, and it provides some sense of uniformity and consistency on the tree. One thing I have learned the hard way is to always check these nets to make sure the lights are working. It is a horrible feeling when you've already placed them on the tree, and then when you try to plug it in, half of them don't work. So always plug them in, double check they're working before you even place them on the tree. For this year, my theme is Candyland. So everything I'm doing is inspired by, you got it, candy. So for the ribbon this year, I'm not going the traditional route of making bows or wrapping it around the tree or letting it come down as a waterfall. This year, I'm using the ribbon to try to give an illusion of candy. I'm starting off with this white mesh and I'm making it fluffy to give it kind of that marshmallow look to it. You'll see later on in the video, I actually end up adding another type of ribbon. It is a pink with gold, and I kind of spiral it around, trying to make it look kind of like a Laffy Taffy or something like that. I was just trying to give this like candy feel to it. To set it into place, I am simply scrunching the mesh together. Then I'm going to use one of the branches in the back of the tree to twist it into place. So I'm basically using the branch as a zip tie or a sort of wire, if that makes sense. Now, if you're using a natural tree, I highly suggest using some floral wire. The green is going to blend in nicely with the tree, and it's going to be easy to twist and place your ornaments exactly where you're wanting them. Versus if you just try to put it on the tree itself, sometimes the branches don't really work with you as nicely. So that wire is going to be a game changer. Once I have the ribbon in place, I like to start with the tree topper, and then I do the rest of the tree. Sometimes I even start with the tree topper before I even do the ribbon. It just all depends on the day. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. It's just the way my brain works. For this tree topper, I'm going to add some non traditional poinsettias that have the entire color scheme of this year's tree. This will tie in the entire tree to the tree topper. That's kind of why I like to start there. I'm going to add some odd number of poinsettias. So typically, I'm going to do 3 or 5 poinsettias. Now, depending on how much of the tree is exposed is what determines the number of poinsettias I use. So in my case, only half of my tree is really facing the living room. So I'm going to only use 3 poinsettias. But if I had this not catty cornered, so in a place where I had to actually decorate the entire tree, I would use 5 poinsettias just to cover the whole thing. Once I'm happy with how the tree topper looks, I go into placing the decorations. I always like to decorate from big to small. In other words, I liked placing my big ornaments, my poinsettias, any themed items, any eye catching items. And then I move into the small traditional spherical ornaments. A few tips while you're placing your ornaments. Number one, always step back and see how the ornament looks from afar. If you like how it looks, move on to the next. If you don't, feel free to move it where you think it looks most pleasantly. Don't be afraid to move it in the middle of the process. Don't be afraid to modify angles. You'll see throughout the whole video, I do this constantly. Number two, when placing the same item throughout the tree, I like to place things in an L shape, and you'll see me do this in the video. I place my hand over the ornament I just put, and then I'll move my hand down and to the right or up and to the left, kind of like in an L shaped pattern, so that it kind of gives that randomness slash uniformity to the tree. And number three, any themed ornaments. If you're doing themes like I did this year and you have any signs or any eye catching ornaments, always try to place them at eye level. So this year, I'm using some gingerbreads that are eye catching. This is super optional. I don't actually always do this and you don't have to do it. But this year it just happened to work out. And I like to have my gingerbreads as my centerpiece for this tree.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now. It's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again. Holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow failed. I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not gonna wait. And right around the mistletoe, I'm gonna let my feelings show.
Once I'm down to the traditional spherical ornaments, I like to make clusters of 3. Then I add them onto the tree. And I combine all sorts of colors. This year I combined gold, pink, blue, green, and then I added them onto the tree based on where I felt the colors needed to be balanced. There are so many ways to add ornaments to your trees. For the big ornaments, I typically leave them single standing, but for the small ones, I like to make clusters. This year, the ornament garland has been very popular, where they take long wires and they just place a bunch of ornaments and then they wrap those around the tree. I've never tried that before. I might attempt to do it for my garland that I put around my staircase, or maybe even my Christmas wreath that I put on the front door. I'm not quite sure yet, but if I do, I'll sure make a video and I'll share it with you guys so that you can see my ups and downs while I'm trying new things.
Always got you on my mind, but I know this time you're on top of my list. Only wish, and as we decorate the tree, only you and me. I'll be making plans, make you understand. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause
And for this year, my final touch to my Christmas tree is some snow in a can. I really wanted a flocked Christmas tree, but I did not want to invest into another tree. So I added some snow in a can. It can give a similar effect at a fraction of cost. And then at the end, when I'm cleaning everything out and putting things away, I'll clean off my tree and I'll be ready for next year.
someone to hold, walking through the falling snow. Oh, oh. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not going away and right around the mistletoe.
And after adding the Christmas tree skirt, here it is, this year's Candyland Christmas themed tree. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me decorate this tree this year. I also hope that you guys learned a thing or two that you can implement on your Christmas tree. If you want to see 2023 Christmas tree video and the top 5 tips and tricks on putting up a Christmas tree, I'll make sure to add a link in the description below, along with the links of items that are still available to buy online. Now, if you like this video and you want to see how I decorated the Christmas garland along with the Christmas wreath with some extra decorating tips, make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye and I'll see you guys next time here at Angie's Crafts Furniture Renovation. Goodbye.